since we're talking about ridiculous failed Google products, Google Glass, would you guys use the Snap?
I wanted to make sure we talked about this while you were on, by the way.
Okay. I don't mean to raise it now.
Not at all.
Yeah, bring it in.
Yeah, bring it in. What do you think,
what I'm most interested about the Snap. So Snap, as everybody knows, has a round camera. To me, that makes sense because it's the. I said at the time of Google Glass, I realized that they tried to put too much into one device.
Yeah.
There should be glasses that are a camera, period, full stop. Don't try to give you the experience. Don't try everything else. Don't try to give you notifications. So that's one. It makes sense to me that spectacles, as Kevin Marks put it, we made fun of him for this, that spectacles would have a camera. The second thing that fascinates me even more is the idea of the round image. In two ways. One, TV started round. If you look at all old TVs, they had round picture tubes. And second, that the round image, because the way the demo is, you can go any which way, it gets rid of the idea of vertical or horizontal. It doesn't matter. How you look at it can change your perspective. I mean, is round genius or is it the most ridiculous gimmick ever?
I think it's genius. I think a lot about this is actually taking the lessons learned from, let's say the failed Google Glass. Google Glass as a consumer product, I would say failed. It might work in the enterprise, still, waiting to see how that plans out. But they learned a lot of lessons here, right? They limited it down to just, I think one of the strengths of Google Glass was the camera. That was one of the things I was most happy with. It's an obvious camera.
Nobody can accuse you of spying on them. It sure is obvious.
It's obvious. There's a light on it. There's a light that tells them that they're being recorded. It doesn't record long form video. It keeps it cut to 10 to 30 seconds at the very longest.
I wish it also did photos. Right?
That would be nice. Yeah, right. That would be nice. I'm surprised actually that it doesn't have the ability to do that, but.
You can always pull a still out of it later. It'll be like pick the still you want. It's like multi-shoot. But
it's simplicity.
The fascinating thing to me is that they've taken two things here. They've taken the thing that everyone was most worried about Google Glass about, which was people walking around with surveillance cameras on their faces, and made that front and center and made it the whole point of the device. So it's not that. So that half of Google Glass was I've actually got a little heads-up screen that's telling me what's going on, which probably does make more sense to watch. But that was the point of it. It was the thing in the corner of your eye, and then the camera thing was an augmented part of that. Mm-hmm. And so it was an ambiguous thing to be wearing. You weren't sure if people were photographing you or not, even though it did have it had a light on it and things. That was very much the perception of it. Mm-hmm. So here they're explicitly saying no, this is a thing for photographing people, and they're taking, they haven't skydived out of a Zeppelin, but they're basically they've done their own, cool kid version of that.
Spectacles coming out of the Zeppelin.
But the other thing, the round thing is actually quite subtle. What they've basically done there is they've taken Instagram's everything should be square thing, which Instagram has since backed away from, and taken that a stage further. So everything must be square was Instagram's first. It was aping medium format, which was a square format, so it looked like a professional film thing. But also it got away from the which way around do I have to hold my phone to take this photograph thing. And by taking that a stage further and say, well, if we assume that things are circular, then we can rotate the angle later and we can adjust which way it's pointing. That adds something as well. I'm intrigued to know if they have what do you call it, a geo model that they're recording with it as well, or if it is just
is there an up and down or not? Right.
No, is there a gyroscope in there?
Is it one camera or two?
It is two, right?
No, I believe it's one camera.
If it were two, back to your early discussion, Kevin, if it were two, it could do stereoscopic.
That's right. Nice. I thought it was two, and it could do the stereoscopic thing, which would be very cool.
It's got two images on it, but I didn't know if it was two cameras or not. It's got two round things on it.
Yes, it does have two round things on it. I was
is that just for symmetry? Is it just for style?
I thought it was just for symmetry, but I could be wrong on that. I hadn't seen anything about stereoscopic, but that would make it even more interesting, I think.
Well,
I don't know how you view that after the fact, but
you put your headset on, but also having stereoscopic means that you can do the depth of field tricks that Apple has been touting.
Exactly.
And Google their camera 3 years ago, but you have to move the camera up and down to get the stereoscopic thing to make it work. So it's a pain in the arse to actually do.
Right.
Whereas if you've got two lenses shooting continuously, you can construct the depth map and do later on, in post, you can say, you apply the filter to focus, pull it, or focus on that person.
And the app can do that because it'll have the standard distance. It'll know what's what.
Yes, exactly.
I of course will be pissed. I'll want it, but I'll be pissed because I'm nearly blind, and trying to get prescription lenses for that odd shape will be impossible. Plus, it won't be cool because it will be sunglasses.
Well, no, I think they look big enough to wear over glasses like you or I wear. I mean,
that's so dorky. That's
Is
one
that
of my
ever
Google
comfortable
Glass
for glasses
problems.
wearers?
That's why I spent $2,000 also getting the prescription lenses for the Google effing Glass.
It's okay. It's okay. We've all been there in some way, shape, or form.
So here's a theory of why it's not going to work.
Okay.
That it will flop horribly. One reason: selfie.
Doesn't do a selfie.
Did you see that great picture of Hillary Clinton with supporters, and everyone was turned around from her so they could all get a selfie with her?
That was amazing.
Right? And everyone's, oh no, this is the state of the world 2016. But the truth is, everybody wanted to be in the picture. And with Snap, you can't be in the picture.